my channel. My name is Cassie, and we're gonna do, we're gonna attempt to do a reading vlog. So far for Realmathon, it is the 16th, and I've only read 2 books. That's it. Just 2. I was in a bit of a slump the beginning of the month, and I'm still kind of feeling slumpy, because I read so many books last month, so it's, just the beginning of this month, I was just not feeling like reading, but then I was like, I really need to read, Project Hail Mary, because it's coming out this weekend, and I'm going to go see it. So I wanted to reread it. I've already read it once. It was 5-star. So I was like, I want to reread it before the movie comes out. So of course that book is not on my official TBR. So go me. But it did help in getting me out of my slump a little bit. But then the next book that I read after it kind of put me right back into the slump a little bit. So I gained a little bit of ground, and then I lost just a little bit of ground. So I'm still feeling kind of slumpy, but I'm also like, I really do want to read. So I picked something that is on the official TBR to read, and I have them all right here in front of me, so I can't be like, I don't remember. I don't need to remember. I have the whole stack right there. That huge March TBR stack right there. But anyway. I did order some bookmarks for the Realmathon, like February 11th or something like that. And today is like the last day that they were supposed to come in, according to the little email that I got. It was like March 5th to like March 16th. And they didn't come in today. So I'm a little sad. A little sad about that, but hopefully they will come in sometime this week. But anyway, I digress. So the book that I picked up, which is a book that I've been putting off for a very, very long time, keep putting it on my TBRs, and then I just don't read it. And that is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. So this is kind of where we're starting. And we're just going to see how much I can get read. I want to say at the moment I'm 20% in to it. And I got to tell you, I'm doing immersive reading to kind of help me along. I'm listening to it and I'm reading along. Kind of helps me since I'm in a slump right now, or I'm feeling slumpy, and I gotta tell you, the person that does the audiobook for Red Rising, I don't know the accent, like, I can't nail it down. I don't even know if my guesses are the right guesses. Maybe Scottish, maybe Irish, I don't know, but it is a very interesting experience. To try to listen to an audiobook with an accent at the normal speed that I would normally have the audiobook going. I usually kind of start out at like 2.6 when I first start in the beginning of the day, and then after about 10-15 minutes I amp it up to like 2.8, and then by about 30 minutes I'm up to 3.0. And I usually stay around like 3.0, 3.2 for the rest of the day. But yeah, it's very interesting to have an accent like this with that type of speed and trying to understand auditorily what they're saying compared to what it is that I'm reading with my eyes. It's very interesting. And something that I encountered in the second book that I read, that I also did immersive reading with, has anybody else come across where the book and the audiobook do not match for like paragraphs. Like there's sentences, there's paragraphs where it's just like the audiobook is just reading, but it ain't there in the actual book. So has anybody else come across that? I'm not very, I'm just now getting into the whole immersive reading with the ebook or the audiobook. So I don't know if that's a common thing or not. It's weird though to me that it doesn't match. It really throws me off when it doesn't match. And then sometimes there's something in the book and the audiobook just skips over it. It's like it doesn't even exist. So, yeah, if anybody else has an experience with that, and it's normal maybe, let me know. Because I don't know if it's normal or not. If it is, okay, I'll just kind of get over it, but anyway, yeah. So, we're gonna work on Red Rising, and then we will see what book I pick up after that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 9 other books to pick from that are on my official TBR, because I've only read one other one. Did I have 11 books on? I guess maybe I did have 11 books this month on my TBR. It was kind of, I think it was like 10, and then I had to add one, maybe? I don't remember, but yeah, so I had 11 choices. I've read one. I'm reading one now. I have 9 after this one. So, yeah, we will kind of see what happens. Okay, so I started Red Rising yesterday, and last night before I went to bed, I was probably about 30%-ish in. And then while I was at work, I was listening to it, and when I was at lunch in my car, I was listening to it, and then when I got home, I was listening to it and reading along, and I just finished it. Didn't even cross my mind to like do an update while I was reading it. But I did enjoy it. There were a few things that kind of were like, I don't really get it, but overall, I did enjoy it. So, yeah, I'll tell you probably what I'm gonna rate this in my wrap up for March. But I finished that one. I now have 3 books that I have read this month for Realmathon. Now I need to decide what I'm going to read next. And isn't that the question? Half City, Daughter of the Drowned Empire, House of Bane and Blood, The Children of Red Peak, Wicked Onyx, The Failures, The Outcast Mage, Fourth Wing, The Emperor's Blade. It's a lot of choices. And I don't really do well with choices, if we're being completely honest. I kind of am between, since I kind of did something with Trials in it, I'm kind of feeling Trials. And I think Fourth Wing has Trials in it, and it is also a book that I have been putting on my TBR and just not reading and not getting to. And I just did Red Rising, and that was also a book that I had been doing that with. So maybe Fourth Wing is the next one. Yeah, we're gonna bite the bullet. We're gonna read Fourth Wing. So Fourth Wing is going to be my next pick. And we're going to see what all the hype is about. Sorry. We're going to see what all the hype is about. And if I am with the hype. Which I think is kind of what has had me not read this, is because it was so hyped. And it is still so hyped that I'm just kind of worried that it's going to fall short in my brain with how hyped it is. And so I think that's kind of one of the reasons why I have not been, why I have not picked this up to read it. But we're going to do it. This is what we're reading. We are reading Fourth Wing. Hopefully this time, at some point, I will give you some kind of a midpoint review, like, update on this. So, until then, I'm gonna go start reading this. I am bad at reading blogs, I feel. Because it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna read this book, and I'm gonna update you at some point, and then, you know what, I don't, and then I finish the book. So, here we are again. I started this late last night, and shot myself in the foot for work, because I stayed up until about 2:30 in the morning, and I got 60% through. And then, all day today, I read it, or I listened to it, and I got to about 85% when I got off of work. And then I came home, and I took a little nap, because something had just happened. I'm like, no, wait a minute, I just gotta, I'm gonna take a nap. I'm not actually gonna read, because generally I tell myself I'm gonna try to take a nap when I get home from work for like an hour. And then I just generally lay there and like doom scroll or read or something, and that's not really helpful. So took a little bit of a nap, probably only like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it feels like. And then I finished it just now, and it's 8 o'clock, so yeah, I seem to be doing this to myself. So I finished Fourth Wing. And I can see the hype. I can see the hype of why people really like this. I can see it. But I guess there were just a couple of things that bothered me about it. And it might just be, I'm not sure that I recall her age, and how old she is, the main character, Violet, but, and considering the world that she lives in, and whatnot, her mother, and everything, you know, the world that she lives in, what's going on around her, you would think that she wouldn't be, I found her to be irritating, like, just things that she would say or do, it was just, it was immature to me, I guess. And I don't feel like, for the world, and possibly her age, I think she's 20? I could be wrong on that. But I feel like she should have been a little bit more mature about some things. And I always, it kind of bothers me when you have a character and they're weak. Okay, let's just say they're weak in some shape, way, or form. Physically, they are weak. And yet, for some reason, they're like, no. I want to stay here and help and fight. Do what? What? Like, what? You know, like, again, given the world, given her mother and all this other, I'm like, she should have been mature enough to not have some of those reactions, especially if she's so smart. So it bugged me a little bit, just a little bit. Not enough that I didn't enjoy it and that I wasn't vibing. Just to be clear, I did enjoy it. I just found some of her reactions, I guess, to certain things irritating. And then another thing, I don't know what her physical ailment is, but I don't feel, I mean, it's probably as realistic as it could be, but I don't feel like it actually is. And that with the physical ailment that she has, that she would have been able to do some of the things that she was doing, or that she would have survived some of the things that she was doing. But I understand it is a fantasy world, and I don't know all that there is to know about her physical ailment or disability, so I could be talking out my butt. If I am, then I am. But yeah, those were just kind of the two things that bothered me. But again, not enough to stop me from just enjoying and vibing with the book overall. So yeah, completed this. Another book off of my official TBR. That's 3 that I've read off my official TBR this month. Out of 11. So yeah, and I'll have to log that book for the Realmathon in a little bit. But now I need to choose my next read. And that's gonna be interesting because I hate choices. I hate them. It's like I love them. I love choices. But I hate them. All in the same vein. Just yeah. So Half City, Daughter of the Drowned Empire, House of Fate and Blood, The Children of Red Peak, Wicked Onyx, The Failures, The Outcast Mage, and The Emperor's Blade. I'm really not wanting to read anything heavy right now, and I feel like The Emperor's Blade might be heavy. I don't know if that makes sense. Oh goodness. I hate... Maybe House of Bane and Blood? Maybe stick with the romantasy kind of theme, the romance fantasy theme that we kind of are on at the moment. Not to say I don't like that I didn't like Red Rising, because I did like Red Rising. But I don't have another sci-fi on my official TBR. And I did, I really enjoyed Fourth Wing, and I kind of want to ride that high, and so I feel like this, Half City or Wicked Onyx, would be the one to go with next. But, I'm pretty sure that I'm waiting on a hold for the Half City. I mean, I own the physical copy, but I can't get away with reading that at work in a book format. I need it as kind of an ebook, so when I have a few minutes, if I want to read, I just read it on my phone, and it doesn't look anywhere near as bad as if I had a book open in front of me reading. So yeah, Half City has a hold on it with the library. And to be honest, I'm a little I'm a little nervous about Wicked Onyx. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, based on the synopsis, that I'm gonna like it. Um, but I would hate for it to be on a cliffhanger and then I have to, like, wait. I mean, it's gonna happen eventually, and if there's a cliffhanger, there's a cliffhanger. I don't know. So yeah, we're gonna go with House of Bane and Blood by Alexis L. Menard. And if for some reason I get caught up in this one and I want to read the next one, I have that. I'm pretty sure this is just duology. So it's completed. I think Red Rising is completed too, but I only have the next 3 books in that one. And of course, Fourth Wing I have, you can see up there on my bookshelves, Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. So I mean, technically I could read sequels to those 2 series, but I am trying really, really hard to stick to my official TBR this month. So anyway, that's what I'm reading. And we'll just have to see if I update you or if I come back and I finished it. Like, at this point, yeah, it's anybody's game. It's anybody's guess what's gonna happen. So, yeah, I will attempt to keep you updated, but we will see what happens. I'm actually gonna be able to do an update. Imagine that. I did not start reading this last night because I really did not need to stay up until like 2 o'clock in the morning again, 3 o'clock in the morning again. And I knew that's exactly what I was probably going to do once I started reading. Well, once I start reading anything, anyway, is I just get into that zone and I just read and then I don't go to sleep. And, have work. I really need to sleep and prioritize work because work pays the bills and it allows me to buy the books that I have. So, yeah, did not start House of Bane and Blood last night. I didn't start it until sometime this afternoon, probably around a little bit before lunch. And then I listened to an hour for my lunch. And then maybe off and on, I probably listened to like another 30 minutes to an hour until I got off of work, depending on what I was doing. So I am at 20% into the House of Bane and Blood. So about there. Almost a quarter of the way through, but not quite. And it is kind of interesting. I'm still a little confused about a couple of things, and I'm pretty sure that is just the nature of the beast of being so early in the book. It's only 20% into the book. So hopefully some clarification will come about as I continue to read for a few things. The prologue does kind of have me a little confused because I honestly think that it's second person. Like, the prologue is read, or like written in red as like second person, which I always find second person to be a little odd when I read it for some reason. And so I'm a little confused about the prologue because it's like, okay, well, who is this? I don't know. No names were mentioned, and it is a he type situation. I don't know. So a little confused on that, and then in the prologue, the main female character's name is mentioned as well, and then it's kind of, well, where does she come into play with whoever this person is in the prologue, and how does that person that's in the prologue connect to the main male character as well? Yeah, I have some questions. The magic system, though, is very interesting. The world seems fairly interesting. Dean, really. You have to play with crinkle pizza right now. So, yeah, the world is very interesting. Has a magic aspect to it, with revenants. And then it's got, alchemy proportions to it as well, science. Haven't read too much of the science, quite yet. They haven't really mentioned too much about it. Dean, I'm about to take away that pizza, and you're gonna be a sad little pup. Just saying. So, Dean, stop it. Okay, try this one more time. Please don't play with the pizza again. So anyway, 20% in. It's interesting. It is keeping my attention. I'm actually a little scared to read it any tonight because again, I'm 20% in and I'm interested. I do want to continue reading, but I don't want to get like sucked in to it to the point where I don't go to bed tonight. I can't do that another night this week or I will be a zombie like tomorrow and probably just sleep the weekend away, and I cannot afford that. I have things to do this weekend. I'm going to be seeing Project Hail Mary on Saturday with a friend who's going to be, that is so interesting. Is that because I did, okay, maybe, I don't know. I'm a little confused by that. But okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna go see Project Hail Mary on Saturday. A friend is gonna be there as well. They tried to sit kind of as close to where my seat is, but there's like 2 seats between us or something like that. But it is what it is, and it's gonna be amazing. And then Sunday, I'm seeing Ready or Not 2. I really enjoyed the first one. I don't know why I really enjoyed the first one, but I did. And then Friday, actually tomorrow, I am going to a local, like romance bookstore that I did not know opened. I think they opened sometime, in December. I'm not quite sure on that. I didn't know about it. I didn't know that they opened, but, my friend Kat, sent me something at their store that had some kind of event or something at their store that she found on Instagram. I guess it just came up on her feed. And she sent it to me and I was like, wait a minute, this is an Irma? Wait a minute. So I looked into it and I think that they opened sometime in December. And I didn't hear about it. None of my friends that read heard about it. So, when I found out that it did exist, I got into, like a little group in my text chat, and it was like, okay, who wants to go with me to the bookstore? Who wants to go with me? We're gonna make it a trip. And so tomorrow, after work, because that's when everybody that is going to be going is available, is tomorrow. They close at 7, and so pretty much right after work we are going there, and then afterwards we're going to dinner, which is another reason why I cannot not sleep tonight, because I'm going to be up pretty late. I'm not going to be able to just come home and take a nap when I get home from work tomorrow and wake up to like 6:30ish and have enough energy to make it until like 10. No, I have to just go through. But it should be fun. I'm really excited to go to this. I think it's called Flutters and Flowers Bookshop. I'm very excited to check it out. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow with my friends. And then, of course, the 2 movies that I'm seeing. And, of course, you know, I'm going to continue to read House of Bane and Blood. Hopefully, I will finish it some point tomorrow. And then I will be starting another book after this one. We'll see. But I also wanted to show you guys, I ordered these on February 11th. And they gave me a window where they were going to arrive between like March 5th and I think March 16th, which, considering I ordered them like February 11th, it's like, that's a really long time to have to wait for the, and then I have, you know, the window of, okay, well, between March 5th and the 16th, when are they going to show up type situation. And come the 16th, they still weren't here, and I got an email saying, oh, hey, this should have, you know, this was supposedly delivered. And they wanted my review because, you know, the window was the 5th to the 16th. It doesn't know whether or not it was delivered or not because there's no tracking on it. And I'm like, I haven't gotten it. I can't review something that I haven't gotten. And then I did contact Cassidy because I was like, I want the bookmarks. But luckily she hadn't sent the replacement set because they came in yesterday, which was 2 days after they were supposed to get here. And yeah, apparently I need to wait like about 35 days for stuff to come from Canada, I guess now. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. It used to not be that bad. I would generally, if I got bookmarks from Cassidy, or, you know, when I get my monthly bookmarks because I'm part of her Patreon, usually they show up within like maybe 2 weeks. But this time it took 35 days, which is just, it's ridiculous. But I've got the Realmathon team bookmarks. So this one is the Rogues. And of course, you know, it has the Crucible for what she's calling Realmathon 5.0. So that's the Rogues. I do believe that this one is the Mages. I think this one is for the Mages team. I think that this one is the Paladins. And then this one is for, I think this one is for the Clerics. I could have them all mixed up and wrong, but I'm hoping that this one is for the Clerics because the Phoenix kind of always been my thing since high school. I even got a Phoenix on the side of my class ring, as you know. Every time I got knocked down, got back up, rose from the ashes, right? That's how I kind of see it, and how I've seen most of my life is get knocked down by something in life, and I just get back up eventually. Might take me a bit, but I do it. So yeah, that's kind of the update at the moment, and I wanted to share the bookmarks because they are just so pretty. They're pretty. And I need to put them in protective sleeves here in a minute. So yeah, hopefully I will update you guys again tomorrow. And I might see if I can't get some clips of the bookstore. to doing some bad things today. um, Went to a new bookstore and with my friends, and I did end up getting 2 books. Yeah, it happened. So we're just gonna have to see where they fit into things going on. So I went to Flutters and Flowers Bookshop. And so it's a cute little bag, and like they have it in wrapping paper. Like I love that. I think it's so pretty. So I got The Wolf and the Crown of Blood because that sounded really interesting. So that one. And then I got Eternal Rain by the Twisted Sisters. I've been meaning to get this one. It's about vampires. I think it's about vampires. Yeah, vampire book. And then I think this one might have had something to do with Beauty and the Beast retelling. Maybe. Not sure. And then I got this really pretty dragon bookmark, which I think was for When the Moon Hatched, is what that's based off of. And then I got a free bookmark for my purchase. And so I was like, I like butterflies. So I got butterfly bookmark. Of course, I had to get their business card. And of course, there's the pretty wrapping tissue paper that they put in there. Which, yeah, no, I do really enjoy that. And if that was ASMR for some. And then, the last thing I got was a candle. The Cozy Chapter. So, hand-poured soy wax candle. Once Upon an Apple. It's apple cider, vanilla, and brown sugar. So, it smells really good. I love me a good candle. So, yeah, I was very excited that there's a romantasy type store here in my area. And I don't have to go up to Charlotte. Not to say that I don't like Trope, because I do, but it is kind of a drive. It's kind of like almost a half a day thing. So, yeah, I'm very excited that there's now a romantasy type store in my area. And so they have all the romance, just like the Trope bookstore in Charlotte. They have the contemporary romances, the fantasy romance, the historical romance. They have the LBGT, I'm forgetting my acronyms, forgive me. And then, of course, they have young adult romance. But they also had a bookshelf, or a bookcase, of mystery thrillers, which Trope does not have. So, I also saw some sci-fi in there because I saw the Red Rising series in the store amongst the fantasy theme. The fantasy books. I think, I definitely saw Red Rising. There might have been a couple of other sci-fis, but I don't remember off the top of my head. There was a good amount of tote bags, of course the candles, a lot of bookmarks, a lot of stickers, Um, they had a lot of totes. They had sweatshirts, t-shirts, shorts, socks with the different bookish things. They had what are those wintry hats? Beanies. They had beanies, bookish beanies. They had bookish glasses for your drinks. Like, they had all kinds of stuff. It was great. They had, I think, more of a selection than Trope does when it comes to bookish items. And then, of course, they also have a little bit more than just romance. Not a lot, but they do have a little bit more than just romance in the store. And then they also, I did also see some high fantasy in there. There was just like these two little shelves that was just kind of like some high fantasy books. I definitely saw Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn, like the whole first three in the trilogy, and then the Cosmere. I think I saw some Cosmere. So there was also a small selection of high fantasy books as well. So they have a little bit more than Trope and Charlotte. So nice. And then they do have, I guess, a reward system. So for, I don't know what the rewards are, but you get like a certain amount of points for every $1, a couple dollars you spend or something like that. So not sure what the rewards are yet, but I was very happy with what they had and the fact that they are so close. So I will probably be visiting the store again. Whether I think I might try to go to the book club. They have a book club. But I'm unsure if I'm going to be making it to the book club that they're having now. I think that, I don't know when it is, for one thing, and I think that the book that they're reading is Hollow by the Twisted Sisters, which is not in my official TBR. And I am really, really trying to focus on my official TBR. So, yeah, I don't know if I will get to that this month or not. I'll have to look up. I'll have to look it up for like the exact dates and everything, times and stuff. I do know, I think they're doing something with candles. In April, I think I saw something on Instagram about them doing something with candles. And the lady that was there today was really, really nice. Very helpful. So that also helped. And there wasn't a lot of people there. When I got there, it was literally just me and two of my friends for probably almost 20 minutes. It was just the three of us and the lady that was helping us and, talking with us about books and whatnot. And then another one of my friends showed up, and then maybe about 5-10 minutes later, like, 3 other people came in. And we were there for about another maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. And so the amount of people in the bookstore within maybe an hour, I want to say, was, 7. 8, maybe. So yeah, it was quiet, it was nice. And I'm sure that, once more people hear about the bookstore, it'll probably get more people coming in, so it may not stay that way forever. But as of the moment, that's where it is. So yeah, no, I just wanted to share that. And then afterwards we went and we got Mexican for dinner. So that was fun. So yeah, let's get into the book that I was reading, House of Bane and Blood. So, House of Bane and Blood, I finished it about 30 minutes ago. And this was very interesting. It was very interesting. The world's very interesting. The magic is very interesting. The alchemy portion of it, what little I know of it, is interesting. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say. It's just, it was interesting. And it did leave off as kind of a cliffhanger, and so that I'm not really sure. But there was, for some reason, just some female characters have been irritating to me. So you have somebody that, you know, they're not a remnant, I think it's called. They're not a remnant. So they don't have, like, magic or something or whatnot, but they still think that, you know, they smell like roses, and they are just as tough as somebody that is a remnant or whatnot, and then they get in over their head multiple times, and because of their pride, I guess, I don't know, but that always just kind of irritates me when characters do that. It's like, you know that you probably do not stand a chance. You are not physically trained. Can you shoot a gun? Yeah. Can you kind of use a knife? Sure. But you haven't been actually, like, physically trained to, like, fight. You don't have any stamina. You don't have, like, any muscles or any of this. And so I'm just like, why do you do this thing where you're like, you're gonna fight? I'm not leaving. I'm gonna fight. Like, that has happened in, like, a few books now that I've read. And I'm just like, why? I mean, I know why, but why? It's slightly irritating, and it does kind of affect my enjoyment of the book a little bit. But overall, it kept me entertained. It kept me interested. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So I think I started this vlog on Tuesday. It is now Friday night. And these are the 3 books that I've read so far for Realmathon. Well, there's 2 other books, but these are the 3 that you know of. So I am kind of going to end this reading vlog here, because it's getting a little lengthy, because apparently I can just go off at the mouth, and there's pauses and there's time, and so it's a little lengthy. And I don't really like to spend a lot of time. I don't like to spend pretty much any time trying to edit much of anything. I try to get some of the very beginning silence out and some of the very end silence out, but that's kind of as far as I take it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the reading vlog. I will tell everybody, I guess, for my wrap up, like, what books I officially read for the entire month. But yeah, that's kind of it. So if you like this video, like it. If you want to see more of it, more by me, subscribe. But until next time.